But soon as that happened, I started traveling bringing my family with me.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
yeah, a little bit I would shoot out here, fly out, boom, 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 she come back. But then once, you know, I was able to really establish it where my wife and son could travel.
Oh, okay.
And then when he got into school, you know, it would be sometimes where they can't necessarily go, but then
Okay.
we got it to where he was homeschooled. So
okay.
just for that, well, that was one of the main reasons so that we could really be together. So
Okay.
we travel. I was with a partner of mine at that same recording, and he was like, Keith, you know, you're blessed because he said, I don't think I could do it. For years, he was like, I would be months at a time away from my family because he was with plays and stuff.
Okay.
You know, when I did the play, my wife was my son was with
Oh,
me.
okay. Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and
that is a
I know
blessing.
some people's situation like his, he had 3 kids.
Okay.
So it was kind of hard to do what we were doing.
Okay.
You know, obviously if you can, and I've seen groups, I remember a group from overseas, I forgot the name, you would know if I told you the name, but I caught them in Arizona, and they literally had, the band, their wives, their kids.
Okay.
They just had like 2 bus loads would pull
Wow,
up.
okay.
All the wives were homeschooling, they were working with the ministry. You know, it's possible if you
Yeah.
really want to make it happen.
Okay.
But of course, it's not always. So if your situation is, I can't do that, then it's God, man. It's really you all, you know, relationship being tight with God. You
Okay.
can make it through anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
If you and your spouse is tight with God and you communicate, you know what I mean? It's not going to always be easy because it's going to be times when, you know, they're not feeling that. You know,
Right,
they want
right.
to be home. You got to shoot out in this. And you got to make some guidelines, you know,
Okay.
because I remember, too, with us, we would, you know, people would have us out on Christmas and, you know, then our manager was like, you know, commission will not do any more Christmas. But the
Wow.
person had us flying out Christmas. The date was not on Christmas, but we had to fly out on Christmas.
Oh,
So at
man,
about
so
4
we could be
o'clock, we had to
there.
head to the
Okay.
airport.
Okay.
So, you know, it's just ways to really make it best. And I think communicating and seeing what your spouse, what helps them, you know, with it and work it out that way. But being with God and really prayer and really kind of seeing what it is, because just like a person in the military,
Yeah.
you know, that's got to be on a ship for,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not the perfect ideal thing, but it's what we have to do,
Right. Okay.
you know.
Wow. So now, what are some of the things that you might be able to share with you know, people that are looking to do, you know, what you did, whether it's solo or they're waiting on God, you know, that's one of the things that I have heard. You know, people have a frustration of why is it taking so long? What can I do to help? I'm tired, so I'm going to move to the next situation, and maybe that'll, you know, help me. And instead of, at least from my point of view, waiting, seeking God and see what He wants, because His timing is not our timing, you know. And because I said plenty of times, you know, okay, by now, you know,
I should
this,
be,
yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where I feel comfortable, you know, where I say, okay, well, Lord, let me do the things that I know that I should do, and then whatever you want to, you know, do from there, cool. If this is just what I'm supposed to do, then I'll do that.
I think that's the key right there. Just really, if God has given you a talent to write, to sing, to play an instrument, I think you have to get to the place where it's like, hey, God, wherever you put me, where I fit in, I'm going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy, you know, now Fred Hammond and Marvin Sapp, you know, these are commission cats. These guys are doing major tours, and Fred is doing this thing, man, where, you know, he goes to an auditorium and thousands of people come and they have a full band, and it's, well, I don't do that. You know, I would love to do that, you know, in my flow of what I do. That would be great, you know, praise and worship and that type thing.
Let me stop right there. If you need a bass player, give me a call.
I feel you, man. But the plug is, he's plugging himself here right now. I don't blame you.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but really, man, truthfully, you know, human nature could be like, oh man, well, I'm not doing what Fred is doing, or what Marvin is doing, or what Ty Tribbett or whoever doing that major, what we call our major gospel artists. But I'm going to churches on the regular, you know, sometimes maybe with a musician, and now I'm getting more into bringing a band type of thing. But that's not, you know, that's depending on what the situation is. I'm happy going into a church, man, with tracks, or getting with the band and say, here, this is what we're going to do. And what I guess my point is, you know, I may never win a Grammy or a Stella or a Dove Award. You know, I've been nominated for a lot of stuff, but it would be great. It would be nice. But I have to be to the point where I appreciate and understand my gift no matter what level. You know what I'm saying? Excellence is excellence if you're in a 2,000 square foot home or 50,000 square foot home. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I understand.
So it's like, let me be excellent and enjoy and be effective where I'm at. So if that ends up being me being the worship leader at my local church, you know, I remember hearing a pastor years ago say, you know, our musicians, they say things like, you know, I have to go and be at my church this Sunday, you know, and then I'll be back on the road. No, you get to be at your church, because that's the local church is, you know, that's just as important, if not more important, than you being in some big concert hall or whatever. But the point is, if my singing is unto God, if my playing is to God, if my writing is to God, if I can write songs that will affect my church, yeah, it's a blessing to get it to the bigger level and more people to hear it. But that one woman that was encouraged to go on, that one man, that one, you know what I'm saying? So we have to get to that place to realize that our ministry is very valuable and important in God's eyes.
Yes, absolutely.
And if it's important in His eyes,
we should.
What's the next level? You know what I'm saying? That God is saying, I'm pleased with how you minister every time, if it's a funeral, or if whatever it is. You know that I've called you to do this, and you pour out and bless people.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
You know, that is so good, because I have been dealing with that, you know, that mentality. I was thinking, okay, now, you know, I'm just doing this, you know, so to speak. But you know, lately, I've definitely gotten to the point where I would say, Lord, I am pleased with what you're doing in my life. Because I just not too long ago came out of a situation that was stressful, and I was chasing. I have to say I was chasing the fame. And the Bible is true. It's elusive. You know, you think you got it, and then you got to do this, and you got to do even more and more and more, and it just eats up all your energy, all your time. And then finally, you know, Lord just brought me to the point where He said, "Look, so now are you ready to do it my way, or are you gonna keep chasing?" And the scripture that He gave to me was in Revelation chapter 2, when it says, repent and do your first works over. You know, and so that's a part of what this snapshot interview, getting back to that, because I was so tied up and so wound up, you know, and so once I was able to just relax, you know, in God, and just say, okay, Lord, I trust you again. You know, I can't make it happen. So whatever you say, I'm good.
It's going to be the best thing.
Right.
You know, it's funny, man. I see I'm in a good position because I've been out on the big tours, and then I've been in like worship leader church and kind of in between like that. So it's funny, I'm seeing a lot of cats that are in the church, musicians in the church, singers in the church, this, that, and the other. They're really striving and pushing to get out on the touring scene. And then there's a lot of cats that's on the touring scene saying, I just want to get at a good church and be a solid minister in my church. And I could be with my family and da-da-da. So, man, at the end of the day, like you said, God, doing it God's way is what's going to bring us joy and peace. You know what I'm saying? And Cass is feeling like, how do I get started? And you're at a good place, because back when commission got started, I mean, God blessed us to get us sign a deal with like records and this, that, and the other. We don't have to wait on that stuff no more.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
artists
right.
that have been on labels are saying,
Right.
I'm not interested in no label. You know, I want to do my music
Right.
and then find my audience, and they can buy it from my website,
Right,
they can
absolutely.
whatever, you know, but I'm doing music. That's the thing. It's not how many albums you sell of this, and that's a whole nother world.
Right.
It ain't about how many, because to be truthful, ain't no bunch of albums being sold
Yeah, you're right.
anyway,
Right.
and on any
Nowadays,
level.
right,
It's
right.
about the artist being on the road, you know, out, me reaching the people, you know. I mean, of course, there's certain artists that are, you know, like you mentioned, Prince. Okay, Prince could do a project, and you're gonna get it off his website, and he's a legend. So of course, but other than that, you know, people are doing okay. But at the end of the day, artists are getting paid from working. You know, not saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put this project out, and 2 million, 3 million people gonna no." So, but we're in a good place as an artist that you have something, and people look at it differently too. It used to be like, okay, I respect you if you're on this major label. Nobody don't care about that. They go directly to looking at the fruit. You know, I don't care. I don't want to know nothing about. Let me hear this person. And say,
Okay, right.
I like that. I want to get it. That's a good thing. We're in a good spot for writers and artists and singers, because it's like, hey, you can get the first thing, get the product done. Then we'll say, okay, let's get it to the people.
Right, right. Well, that is excellent, man. Well, I know there's probably 1,000 questions that people want to ask you, and 1,000 things that I'll probably think of later.
Yeah, of course.
But I definitely want to thank you for taking the time out.
Yeah.
And
My honor, man.
and you know, just coming to bless, you know, the audience as well as, you know, myself, and one of the things that I've noticed, and that I also see it in your life also, is my kids. They have picked up that love. You know, my son, you know, he plays guitar and drums, and my youngest daughter, she sings all the time. We have to tell her, Eris, you know,
She
you
sound
doing
like
your homework.
she
you
sound like me when I grew up.
Okay.
Keith, stop singing. 2 in the morning, I'm in the house singing. You know, going to the kitchen singing. My dad, Keith. You know, that's good though.
Yeah,
So
and-
she loves it.
Yeah, she loves it, and then my other two, you know, they touched on music, and it's in them, you know. So I would just, you know, hope that they just go ahead and get it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's good.
But wherever they go, you know, I'll be proud of them.
That's
you know,
right.
and
That's
you know,
it.
whatever God is, you know, has for them, it'll be for them.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and so I see that, you know, in your son, you know, how,
Yeah.
you know, how he is, you know, you just carry him with you, you know, and they pick up
Yeah.
things and end up doing stuff better than
Yeah.
at least than me, you know, and I'm like,
But that's what our desire is as good fathers. We want our kids to do better and go further than us. You know. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
all right, brother.
All right,
Thank
man,
you so
I
much,
appreciate
man.
it.
All right, I do
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah. Bless you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a snapshot interview with the one and only Keith Staten. So until next time, peace.
Peace.